guys. Good morning. This is Sonia of the Good News Sunday Show, and I am your host. Welcome. It is Friday, May 12th, and we are working on our foundation. So this Friday show we have titled Firm Foundation Friday. And last week we spoke about, on Firm Foundation Friday, we talked about the Bible, and we're just taking kind of like a flyover, an overview before we go deep into the study of the Bible. So we're going to be doing that for the next few weeks. And last week we talked about the Pentateuch, the first 5 books of the Bible that were written by Moses. And those books are Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. And this week we're talking about the historical portion of the Bible. And just so we don't get off track, I'm going to read directly from my notes. The historical books. The 12 books that make up the historical books cover about 800 years of Israel's history and formation of Israel, which includes Israel's rise to prominence, collapse into moral and physical decay and defeat, and the restoration of Israel. Many of the famous characters in the Bible, like David, Elijah, Solomon, Ahab, Esther, and many others, walk on and off the stage of the biblical text in the historical books of the Bible. Now, I do want to preface all of this to say, when we speak of Israel, I want us to remember that many of the major prophets and major characters of the Bible were not only people but places, okay? So with that in mind, I would like to remind us that Abraham's name was changed to Abram, and Isaac, his son, and then of course Jacob, his son, his name God changed to Israel. So when we speak about the historical context of Israel's history, it all dates back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So we just need to ground our foundational knowledge in those 3 characters, and then somehow, some way, we won't forget from which we came. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob's name was changed to Israel. So when we think about the 12 historical books of the Bible, we have to think of these books with these 3 characters in mind: Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob, who became Israel, okay? That's our basic formation, our basic context. Now, the historical books of the Bible in the Old Testament are Joshua, Esther, 1st and 2nd Chronicles, 1st and 2nd Kings, and 1st and 2nd Samuel. Add to those the books of Ruth, Judges, Nehemiah, and Ezra. And those are the 12 books that make up the historical context of the Old Testament, which covers around 800 years. Now, the good news is if we don't have a good understanding of the Old Testament, we still have time to dig into His Word and glean and align ourselves with the Word of God. So, when we think about the 12 historical books of the Bible, we need to reflect, as we study those books, we need to reflect on Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob, whose name God changed to Israel. Okay, so therefore we have the first 5 books of the Bible, which were written by Moses. Of course, we know that Moses did not write about his own death, but those first 5 books of the Bible, and then the 12 books of the historical context. Of course, The Bible is a book of many books written by over 40 authors, included amongst 66 books in this one book. Okay? 66 books make up the Bible with over 40 authors. Okay? So, this is the basics of our foundation, some foundational knowledge here. And we can learn about Jacob and Abraham and Isaac all in the book of Genesis. This is our grounding. This is the foundation. And I'm using the word formation because, you know, that word is thrown around a lot these days. So, this is Sonia of the Good News Sunday Show. Next week, we will speak more and talk more about this biblical flyover, this biblical quick tour that we're doing, just to give us some more foundation before we proceed into our deep study of God's holy word, the Bible. This is Sonia signing out for the Good News Sunday Show. Thank you and have a great day.